Hermetic philosophy, rooted in the teachings attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, is a spiritual and esoteric system that intertwines metaphysics, mysticism, and ancient wisdom. Hermes Trismegistus, a syncretic figure blending aspects of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth, is revered as a master of hidden knowledge. His teachings, often compiled in texts like the Corpus Hermeticum and the Emerald Tablet, form the backbone of Hermetic thought. Central to this philosophy is the concept of as above, so below, which suggests that the macrocosm, the universe, and the microcosm, the individual, are interconnected reflections of each other. This axiom directly informs the relationship between astrology and Hermeticism, as the movements of the stars and planets are believed to mirror and influence the spiritual and material realities of individuals. The idea that the cosmos can offer insight into both personal and universal truths has made astrology an essential component of Hermetic wisdom. Astrology, the study of celestial bodies and their influence on earthly matters, predates Hermeticism but was easily incorporated into its framework due to the shared belief in the connection between the cosmos and human existence. In ancient civilizations such as Egypt, Babylon, and Greece, astrology was viewed not merely as a tool for prediction but as a method for understanding the divine order of the universe. This holistic view resonated with Hermetic teachings, which sought to reveal the divine mysteries that govern life and the universe. Hermeticism treats astrology as a symbolic language capable of revealing hidden truths. The zodiac, with its 12 signs corresponding to different archetypal energies, is seen as a cosmic blueprint. Each sign reflects specific traits, challenges, and lessons that are not only pertinent to individual horoscopes but also offer insights into the workings of the universe. The zodiac, a wheel of 12 constellations, holds immense symbolic value in Hermetic thought. Each sign represents an archetype that can be found in both the macrocosm and microcosm, reflecting the universal principles governing all things. These archetypes are associated with both personal attributes and metaphysical forces. For example, 1. Aries is the symbol of initiative, action, and the force of will. 2. Taurus represents stability, material wealth, and sensuality. 3. Gemini signifies communication, duality, and intellectual curiosity. 4. Cancer embodies emotion, nurturing, and the subconscious mind. 5. Leo represents creativity, self-expression, and leadership. 6. Virgo stands for analysis, purity, and the process of refinement. 7. Libra reflects harmony, balance, and relationships. 8. Scorpio represents transformation, intensity, and hidden truths. 9. Sagittarius embodies the quest for knowledge, freedom, and spiritual exploration. 10. Capricorn signifies ambition, structure, and the mastery of the physical world. 11. Aquarius represents innovation, rebellion, and the collective consciousness. 12. Pisces embodies compassion, spirituality, and the dissolution of the ego. In Hermeticism, these signs are not merely tied to personality traits but are seen as spiritual forces that affect both individuals and the cosmos as a whole. Each sign governs a specific stage of human experience, from the primal impulse of Aries to the transcendence of Pisces. Understanding these signs allows Hermetic practitioners to navigate the spiritual journey of life more effectively, aligning themselves with cosmic forces in the pursuit of enlightenment and self-realization. In Hermeticism, the planets of the solar system are seen as embodiments of archetypal energies that exert influence on both the material and spiritual planes. Much like the zodiac signs, the planets are considered intermediaries between the divine and the earthly realms, each governing different aspects of life and consciousness. These celestial bodies are not just physical objects in the sky but also symbols of profound spiritual forces that impact human destiny and evolution. The 7 classical planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, hold a particular significance in Hermetic teachings, as they correspond to various principles within alchemy and spiritual development. In alchemy, these planets are associated with metals and phases of transformation, serving as metaphors for the purification of the soul. Let's explore the planets and their archetypal meanings within Hermeticism. 1. Sun. Gold. The sun represents the divine spark within the individual, the source of life, vitality, and consciousness. In Hermetic astrology, it symbolizes the higher self and the journey towards self-realization. Alchemically, the sun is associated with gold, the purest metal, and the ultimate goal of spiritual transmutation. 2. Moon. Silver. The moon governs the subconscious mind, emotions, and intuition. It is linked to the soul's reflective and receptive nature, as well as the rhythms of life and death. The moon is connected to silver in alchemy, representing purity, reflection, and the lunar aspect of the soul that seeks to balance the solar force. 3. Mercury, Quicksilver. Mercury is the planet of communication, intellect, and transformation. In Hermeticism, it is considered the mediator between spirit and matter, linking the material and the spiritual worlds. As a planet and an element, Mercury, Quicksilver, represents fluidity and adaptability, essential for the alchemical process of transformation. 4. Venus, Copper. Venus symbolizes love, beauty, and harmony. In Hermetic thought, Venus governs the principle of attraction and unification, reflecting the alchemical process of coagulation, where elements come together to form a unified whole. Copper, the metal associated with Venus, reflects the qualities of flexibility, warmth, and nurturing. 5. Mars, Iron. Mars is the planet of action, conflict, and willpower. It embodies the force of transformation through struggle, representing the necessary challenges that lead to growth and purification. Alchemically, Mars is linked to iron, symbolizing strength, discipline, and the cutting away of impurities during the spiritual journey. 6. Jupiter, Tin. Jupiter governs expansion, wisdom, and higher learning. In Hermeticism, it represents the principle of growth and benevolence, as well as the search for spiritual knowledge and understanding. The metal associated with Jupiter is tin, symbolizing flexibility and openness to higher truths. 7. Saturn, Lead. Saturn is the planet of limitation, structure, and time. It is often seen as the great teacher, bringing lessons of responsibility, discipline, and endurance. Alchemically, Saturn is connected to lead, which represents the base material from which the alchemist seeks to extract gold, symbolizing the soul's journey from darkness to enlightenment. In Hermetic philosophy, alchemy is not merely the attempt to transform base metals into gold but also a metaphor for spiritual transformation. The alchemical process is deeply intertwined with astrology, as both disciplines aim to bring about a higher state of awareness and harmony with the cosmos. The planets and zodiac signs serve as guides in this process, helping individuals understand the stages of inner transmutation. The stages of alchemical transformation are often linked to the planetary forces and their associated metals, symbolizing the purification and refinement of the soul. 1. Nigredo, Blackening. This is the initial stage of dissolution and purification, where the individual confronts the shadow aspects of the self. It is associated with Saturn, Lead, representing the death of the ego and the breaking down of old structures. In astrology, this phase may correspond to a Saturn return or a difficult Saturn aspect, where one faces limitations and the need for deep introspection. 2. Albedo, Whitening. The next stage is purification, where the soul is cleansed and prepared for the emergence of higher consciousness. The Moon, Silver, and Venus, Copper, are key forces in this stage, representing the development of intuition, compassion, and emotional clarity. Astrologically, this may be a time of healing, where the individual is learning to integrate the lessons of the past and move towards greater harmony. 3. Citronidas, Yellowing. This stage represents the awakening of spiritual consciousness, where the individual begins to align with their true self. The Sun, Gold, plays a dominant role here, symbolizing the illumination of the higher mind and the emergence of inner wisdom. In astrology, this may correspond to a significant Sun transit or progression, where the individual is called to step into their authentic power and purpose. 4. Rubedo, Reddening. The final stage of alchemy is the completion of the great work, where the soul achieves a state of unity with the divine. Mars, Iron, and Jupiter, Tin, are involved in this stage, representing the active will and expansion of consciousness needed to reach enlightenment. Astrologically, this phase might coincide with powerful Mars or Jupiter transits, where the individual is driven to take bold action in alignment with their spiritual mission. The 12 zodiac signs in Hermeticism are more than just symbols of personality traits. They are markers on the path of self-realization. Each sign represents a different stage of spiritual evolution, reflecting the journey of the soul as it moves through the challenges and lessons of life. Aries to Cancer. These first 4 signs represent the development of the self in relation to the material world. Aries symbolizes the initial spark of individuality, while Cancer represents the nurturing of the soul's emotional depths. Leo to Scorpio. The middle 4 signs focus on the expression of the self in relation to others. Leo symbolizes creative self-expression, while Scorpio represents transformation and the death of the ego through intimate relationships and deep emotional experiences. Sagittarius to Pisces. the final 4 signs mark the expansion of the self towards higher consciousness. Sagittarius symbolizes the quest for truth and wisdom, while Pisces represents the dissolution of the ego and the return to unity with the cosmos. In Hermetic thought, mastering the energies of the zodiac signs is essential for spiritual growth. Each sign offers a unique lesson that helps the individual progress towards enlightenment, embodying the Hermetic principle of as above, so below. By aligning oneself with the cosmic forces represented by the zodiac, the individual can achieve a deeper understanding of the universe and their place within it. In this section we have explored the profound relationship between the planets, the zodiac, and the alchemical process in Hermetic philosophy. The planets serve as archetypal forces that influence both the material and spiritual realms, while the zodiac represents the stages of the soul's evolution towards enlightenment. Through the lens of astrology, Hermetic practitioners seek to understand the divine order of the cosmos and align themselves with the universal principles that govern both the macrocosm and the microcosm. This foundational understanding sets the stage for a deeper exploration of how these principles can be applied in practice, which will be the focus of the third part of this script. Here we will delve into the practical aspects of Hermetic astrology, the concept of the great work, and how individuals can use these teachings to navigate their spiritual journey. One of the central goals of Hermetic philosophy is the accomplishment of the great work, magnum opus, a process of spiritual transformation and enlightenment. Rooted in alchemical symbolism, the great work is the journey of the soul toward divine union, transcending the limitations of the material world to achieve higher consciousness. This quest is represented by the metaphor of turning base metals into gold, where gold symbolizes the purified, enlightened self. In Hermeticism, the great work involves understanding and integrating the universal laws that govern both the material and spiritual realms. Astrology plays a critical role in this process, as the movement of the planets and stars reflects the cosmic rhythms that influence our inner and outer worlds. By mastering these celestial influences, the practitioner can align with the natural order of the universe and accelerate their spiritual growth. The 4 stages of the great work, nigredo, blackening, albedo, whitening, citronidas, yellowing, and rubedo, reddening, correspond to phases of inner alchemical transformation. These stages are influenced by astrological forces, with the planets and zodiac signs guiding the practitioner through the process of purification, illumination, and enlightenment. In this section we will explore how astrology, specifically the zodiac and planetary transits, informs each stage of the great work. The 12 zodiac signs serve as a map for spiritual evolution in Hermeticism. Each sign represents a different phase of the soul's journey, offering lessons and challenges that contribute to personal and spiritual growth. By understanding the archetypal energies of the zodiac, the practitioner can navigate the trials and opportunities presented by life with greater awareness and intention. In Hermetic astrology, the zodiac signs are not merely seen as influences on personality traits. They are viewed as cosmic forces that govern the stages of the great work. Each sign corresponds to a particular stage in the individual's spiritual development, from the primal impulse of Aries to the ultimate transcendence of Pisces. Let's explore how the zodiac signs guide the practitioner through the stages of the great work. 1. Aries, initiation. Aries, ruled by Mars, represents the first step of the spiritual journey, initiation. The energy of Aries is about taking bold action and asserting one's individuality. In the context of the great work, Aries symbolizes the beginning of the alchemical process, where the practitioner must confront the raw, untamed aspects of the self. This stage corresponds to nigredo, the blackening or dissolution phase, where the ego is broken down to make way for transformation. 2. Taurus, grounding. Taurus, ruled by Venus, brings the energy of grounding and stability. After the initial spark of Aries, Taurus provides the foundation for growth. In the great work, Taurus represents the cultivation of inner resources and the development of patience and perseverance. This stage continues the process of nigredo, as the practitioner must learn to ground their spiritual insights in the physical world. 3. Gemini, duality and integration. Gemini, ruled by Mercury, introduces the theme of duality and the need for integration. The practitioner must learn to balance opposing forces, light and dark, conscious and unconscious, in order to move forward. In the alchemical process, Gemini represents the beginning of albedo, whitening, where the practitioner starts to integrate the fragmented aspects of the self. 4. Cancer, emotional purification. Cancer, ruled by the moon, governs the emotional realm and the subconscious mind. In this stage of the great work, the practitioner must confront and heal deep-seated emotional wounds. Cancer represents the purification of the emotional body, which is essential for progressing through albedo. The practitioner learns to nurture and protect the emerging new self, preparing for the next phase of spiritual growth. 5. Leo, illumination of the self. Leo, ruled by the sun, represents the illumination of the true self. In the great work, Leo corresponds to the stage of citronides, yellowing, where the practitioner begins to shine with the light of higher consciousness. This stage is about embracing one's inner power and creative potential, allowing the divine spark within to fully emerge. 6. Virgo, refinement and purification. Virgo, ruled by Mercury, brings the energy of refinement and purification. In this stage, the practitioner must continue to purify the mind and body, refining their spiritual practice and eliminating impurities. Virgo represents the critical analysis and discernment needed to achieve mastery over the self, as the practitioner prepares for the final stages of the great work. 7. Libra, balance and harmony. Libra, ruled by Venus, symbolizes the need for balance and harmony in all aspects of life. In the great work, Libra represents the integration of opposites and the establishment of inner equilibrium. This stage is about finding peace within oneself and in one's relationships, creating the harmony necessary for spiritual ascension. 8. Scorpio, death and transformation. Scorpio, ruled by Mars and Pluto, governs the processes of death and rebirth. In this stage of the great work, the practitioner undergoes a profound inner transformation, shedding the old self to make way for the new. Scorpio corresponds to the final phase of citronides, where the practitioner faces the ultimate test of surrendering to the transformative power of the alchemical process. 9. Sagittarius, expansion of consciousness. Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, represents the expansion of consciousness and the quest for higher truth. In the great work, Sagittarius symbolizes the stage of rubedo, reddening, where the practitioner reaches a higher level of understanding and wisdom. This stage is about embracing the larger cosmic picture and aligning with divine will. 10. Capricorn, mastery and responsibility. Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, brings the energy of mastery and responsibility. In the final stages of the great work, the practitioner must take full responsibility for their spiritual journey and the wisdom they have gained. Capricorn represents the discipline and structure needed to sustain spiritual enlightenment and to manifest one's divine purpose in the material world. 11. Aquarius, collective awareness. Aquarius, ruled by Uranus and Saturn, represents the expansion of individual consciousness into collective awareness. In this stage, the practitioner recognizes their interconnectedness with all beings and works to contribute to the collective good. Aquarius symbolizes the final integration of the self into the greater whole, as the practitioner reaches a state of cosmic consciousness. 12. Pisces, transcendence and unity. Pisces, ruled by Jupiter and Neptune, represents the culmination of the spiritual journey, transcendence and unity with the divine. In the great work, Pisces corresponds to the final phase of rubedo, where the practitioner dissolves the ego and merges with the One. This stage is about achieving spiritual liberation and returning to the source of all creation. In addition to the zodiac signs, planetary transits play a crucial role in Hermetic astrology. Transits refer to the movement of planets through the zodiac and their interaction with the natal chart. In Hermeticism, these transits are seen as opportunities for spiritual growth and transformation, as each planetary movement triggers specific lessons and challenges that align with the stages of the great work. For example, a Saturn return, which occurs approximately every 29 years, marks a period of significant spiritual testing and maturation. During this transit, individuals are often confronted with the consequences of their past actions and must take responsibility for their spiritual development. This corresponds to the Nigredo stage, where old structures are broken down to make way for new growth. A Jupiter transit represents a time of expansion and opportunity, as the planet of wisdom and higher learning activates the potential for spiritual growth. This transit aligns with the rubedo stage, where the practitioner reaches a higher state of consciousness and wisdom. A Pluto transit symbolizes profound transformation and rebirth, often involving intense psychological and emotional experiences. This transit is associated with the citronides stage, where the practitioner must undergo a process of deep purification and renewal. By understanding the influence of planetary transits, the practitioner can align their actions with the cosmic forces at play, using these periods of challenge and opportunity to further their progress in the great work. Hermetic astrology is not simply a tool for prediction but a guide for spiritual practice. Practitioners can use astrological insights to Understand personal cycles. By tracking planetary transits and their impact on the natal chart, individuals can gain a deeper understanding of the spiritual lessons they are currently experiencing. This awareness allows them to work consciously with these energies, rather than resisting or being overwhelmed by them. Align with cosmic rhythms. Hermetic astrology teaches that everything in the universe operates according to natural cycles. By aligning one's actions with the phases of the moon, the movements of the planets, and the transitions of the zodiac signs, individuals can live in harmony with the cosmic order and enhance their spiritual practice. Engage in ritual and meditation. Many Hermetic practitioners incorporate astrology into their ritual and meditation practices. For example, they may perform specific rituals during auspicious planetary alignments or meditate on the archetypal energies of the zodiac signs to gain deeper insight into their spiritual journey. Pursue the great work. Ultimately, the goal of Hermetic astrology is to assist the practitioner in achieving the great work. By understanding the astrological influences that shape their life, the practitioner can consciously engage in the process of inner alchemy, transforming their soul and achieving unity with the divine. In this third part of the script, we have explored the practical applications of astrology in Hermetic philosophy, particularly in the context of the great work. The zodiac signs and planetary transits serve as guides for spiritual evolution, helping the practitioner navigate the stages of inner transformation and achieve enlightenment. By aligning with these cosmic forces, individuals can accelerate their progress in the great work, ultimately attaining unity with the divine and fulfilling their spiritual potential. Hermetic astrology is a powerful tool for self-realization, offering deep insights into the soul's journey and the universal laws that govern existence. Through conscious engagement with the astrological principles outlined in this script, practitioners can unlock the mysteries of the cosmos and their own divine nature,